Mr. Nicholas Soames.
Mr. Speaker, I will not long delay the House, and can I congratulate the honourable gentleman on some very interesting points that he made, many of which I find myself in agreement with, and may I congratulate my right honourable friend, the member for West Dorset, for his absolutely formidable speech, which renders anything that I can say in support of it pretty nugatory. I will, Mr. Speaker, be voting for Amendment A tonight, but I want to, if I may, make some general points in this debate. I believe, Mr. Speaker, that it is of the greatest importance for our country that we should now move to a conclusion on what is merely the beginning of a tortuous road that will eventually lead to our departure from the European Union. I voted, like my right honourable friend, to trigger Article 50 despite serious reservations on the timing, and I have voted with the government in every single division on the Withdrawal Act and every other piece of legislation to advance the delivery of Brexit. I have voted to leave and honour the referendum many more times than my honourable friends, the member for Uxbridge, South Ruislip, North East Somerset, Rayleigh and Wickford, Wickham and many others. And I find it ironic that those who apparently wish most fervently to leave are those who have most consistently voted against the withdrawal agreement and thus inhibited any real progress. I should make it clear, Mr. Speaker, that there are no circumstances that I will vote for a no deal, nor will I back what would be a deeply divisive second referendum. Both are a recipe for further chaos and division, which should be unacceptable to all sides of this argument, for whom surely it is time for logic and common sense to prevail. Like my right honourable friend, the member for Penrith and the Border, I still believe in sanity. This is a country with a profound tradition of moderation and common sense. Our democratic institutions are elastic enough to be capable of compromise and of moving from the rhetoric of rejection and to the painful necessity of an actual deal. And it grieves me very much to see our influence abroad, as the honourable gentleman for North East Fife said, to see our influence abroad being so degraded as allies and partners who are close friends watch from afar with dismay as we burn up our reservoirs of goodwill and our reputation for common sense, most especially in the European Union. Indeed, although it doesn't feel like it at the moment, this ancient country in which we are so very privileged to live is in general marked apart from many others by the tolerance, good nature and generally civilised manner of its democracy and institutions. These are qualities that are envied the world over. They need careful nurturing and are currently entirely absent from the field. What on earth has happened to our pragmatism, our self-restraint and our common sense? And it grieves me that our reputation is now under such extreme pressure both at home and abroad. Indeed, our reputation has been gravely diminished. And I greatly regret having to speak in this way in our Parliament. Indeed, I cannot believe that I should need to do so. But like many others, I find myself truly distraught at the painful, difficult and intractable position in which our country finds itself. And what I really want to see, as I'm sure do most members of this House, is that the government should be able to get on with the work of creating a more confident and hope-filled country that really cares for the weakest amongst us and for those who find their lives to be complicated and difficult, and that encourages opportunity, enterprise and life chances, and most especially keeps its vision of global service and influence as a long-standing force for humanity and the general good. All of us, Mr. Speaker, I won't if I may, because many others want to speak, please forgive me. All of us know that many of our constituents are understandably extremely angry that Brexit has so distracted the government from the very serious issues that we face. The NHS, education, crime, the reform of social care, housing, the environment, climate change, and all the other great issues that have inevitably had to be neglected as Brexit has gradually sucked the lifeblood out of the government. The public believe, Mr. Speaker, as you very well know, that we have collectively let them down badly. And this is leading inevitably, and in my view very seriously, to the fraying of the bonds between Parliament and the nation. So, Mr. Speaker, in my judgment, the national interest clearly dictates that we have got to get this done, and that we must now get on with the vital work of establishing our future relationships with our most important economic partners and allies. Mr. Speaker, at the beginning of the business of the House every day, the Speaker's chaplain reads the prayer that enjoins us most especially to never lead the nation wrongly through love of power, desire to please, or unworthy ideals, but laying aside all private interests and prejudices to keep in mind their responsibility to seek to improve the condition of all mankind. Mr. Speaker, all of us need to pay a little more attention to those wise and profound and humane words which have guided and succoured this House through thick and thin down the years and in worse days than now. It's now time that Parliament did its duty by the country for the national interest and for national unity, and regardless of party or inclination, to bring these matters to a belated conclusion. Yeah.